Alrighty guys, welcome back to Balake's Fish Room. So I'm going to be doing the July update for 2022. So here we've got we're starting in front of the Black Nasty tank. So over here, I kind of wanted to start with these guys because as you can see, this is the female that he normally doesn't spawn with. So the fry that are in the tank right now belong to the other female, which is up in the pot. But the male and this female have been showing a bit more attention to each other and are showing signs of spawning. So hopefully we get another spawn out of them. That'd be really cool. But to be honest, I don't really need any more black nasties right now. I'll get to that in a little bit with an update on the fry. But just the fact that they're gonna spawn and everything, I'll just let them go in the tank and see what happens. If the larger fry that we've got in here, if they survive through that spawn, then they'll probably just peck off the small fry as they get a little bit bigger. So, but the other thing, I think we might have the main female and the male spawning over here. So we'll see which one spawns. Maybe they'll both go, but we'll see how that goes. So there's not really anything else to update in this tank. Just been doing water changes and keeping everything going. But I'm just always stoked to have these nasties. They're like I've said before, they're my favorite fish. So yeah, pretty cool to see them just thriving. So all right, what we might do is we'll just jump straight down to the bottom tank here. So this is the Trimacs. So they're getting to a good size now, and they're starting to color up really nicely. This is probably the best one out of the batch. In terms of I don't know, hang on, it might be this one. Well, there's two, yeah, there's this one and then there's that one down there. They both look pretty good. They've got a really nice pink color coming through now, and this really nice maroon through the fins, which is really cool. I think it is this one. But we haven't had any spawning action. I'm not sure. I think just going by size, I'd say we've got 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 males, maybe 5 males, and then a few females as well. So hopefully they're probably at the size where they're going to start spawning. So I've just done a water change on them today, so we'll see how they go. Maybe they'll drop some eggs and see what happens. But yeah, these guys are going really well. So just growing them out. The biggest male, he's probably about I'd say 4 inches now, so about 10 centimeters. So yeah, getting to pretty good sizes and getting nice color. So all right, so that's it for the Trimacs. Let's move on to the next rack. Okay, so we're over in front of the community tank of the grow out. So this is the Persei. So we've got the Persei down here, which are getting to a really nice size in this big tank. So that one there's probably around 2 inches now, which is good. Starting to kind of actually look like a little Persei. Haven't seen any yellow come through on them yet, but we'll see how that goes. So we've got 6 of the Persei, 6 or 8, I can't remember. And then we've got the Argentius, which are growing pretty well. They're at about 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches as well. So, but they're a slow growing fish, so I'm not really expecting them to grow too quickly. And then there's another couple of little fish in here. I'll see if I can see them. So this is the only surviving red-based snook fry. So unfortunately we lost the rest. But the good thing is they constantly spawn, so hopefully they spawn in the new tank and we can get some fry from them. And then the other ones that we've got in here, there's a couple of these marbled fenestratus fry which survived from the first batch. So I think there's 3 of those in here. So the rest of them, unfortunately, we lost, but we do have more fry growing out right now. So, and I'll show you. Look at that Persei. See, that's a great shot. Yeah. So they just eat heaps, which is cool. And yeah, it's pretty much just a tank full of herbivores, which is quite nice. So we'll let them grow out. They've probably doubled in size since being in the tank, so that'll keep steadily happening. So. All right, so let's focus. All right, so that's probably it for now. Look at this frog. G'day, mate. There you go. All right, anyway, so that's probably it for this tank up here. So we'll jump straight down to the bottom one there. So this is the grow outs of the Texas, the green Texas cichlids and the jags. So there's only a couple of jags in here at the moment because they have such large spawns. What I want to do is actually try and use them as feeders. So let me know. I know that I know Andy Woods used dovii as feeders, and he said it wasn't a good idea. So if you think it's not a good idea to use jags as feeders, can you let me know why in the comment section below? That'd be awesome. But yeah, so in this tank we've got it's pretty much a dumping tank right now. So we've got a bunch of these silver dollars, which are they've got these lesions on their skin, so we're just treating that at the moment. We've got a bunch of these green Texas. That's probably the biggest one that we've got at the moment. Oh no, this is the big guy down here. So we've got, I think, 8 of them still. We've got a couple of these Texas, these jags, a spotted leperinus, and the silver dollars. So yeah, we're probably going to dwindle down the numbers. We might even get rid of either the Texas or the jags. The reason I'm thinking I'm going to keep the jags, one, because I don't have anything from the Parachromis family. So I'm thinking about keeping them. I don't really want to keep dovii because they just get too big for what I'm doing. And but I do like the jags. They're just, to me, they're just an example of really good evolution. So I think I'm going to keep the jags and ditch the Texas, only because I think we might finally get the Argentius Carpentus into Australia, and I'd rather have a 100% confirmed line of Carpentus like the ones that Matt from the Cichlid Dojo has. They're just absolutely gorgeous, and they're nothing compared to the Texas cichlids that you see in Australia. So hopefully we get some of them in. That'd be really cool. So yeah, probably sticking with the jags, get rid of the Texas, and then keep the silver dollars. They can just be dither fish, and also selling some of these. These are normal Fernostratus, so that's what originally I was going to spawn these guys with the marbles, but I ended up getting a few different bloodlines of the marbled Fernostratus, so I knew that they would be strong after spawning. So I'm not really worried about doing that. So I'll sell them, sell the Texas, and that'll be that. All right, so we'll finish up on that rack and we'll head over to the other side of the room. Okay, so before I go any further, I just want to say the last tank that I'm going to show you in the fish room, we've got a really, really cool surprise. There might be something new in there, so I'll get to that at the end. So definitely stick around and watch that one, because it is something that I think most people overseas as well would be a little bit jealous of. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to have them. So anyway, I'll get to that in a sec. So on this tank, so this is the tank now that we've turned into a community. Oh well, look at these guys, they're going crazy. So I've turned this tank into a bit of a community tank with the with a few different species that are going to get along together. So, well, for the most part. So what I've put in here is the Salvini pair. So they're absolutely stunning. Like the bottom tank that they were in just didn't do them justice. They're just the absolute most beautiful fish. This female, I think they're in spawning dress, so I wouldn't be surprised if they've got eggs somewhere or about to drop. But the male here, they've but the good thing about having these guys now in a community, they don't have as much aggression towards each other, because every time they would spawn, they would just almost kill each other. But now they've got all these big robust fish like the marbled Fernostratus and the snooks and everything to compete against, and it kind of balances out that aggression. So I'm not worried at all about losing any of these fish. And in fact, since doing this community style, all the fish are actually looking the best they've ever looked, which is cool. So I've got the snooks up here. So this is the little female and the big male, and then we've got the marbled fins, which are looking like they're going to spawn in this pot up here again for us, which will be really nice. And then we got some of the blue eyes in here as well, and then good old Frankie down here. I've sold most of the other marbled fenestratus, but couldn't let go of Frankie. He'll stick with me for his lifetime. Little wonky jaw Frankie, eh? Okay, so that's probably it for the, oh actually, the other thing that I want to talk about for this one is I've changed the light bulb in this light to see if we get any better growth, because we got our first little leaf with the white lights. So those lights that we've got there. So we got our first little leaf with those lighting, but it took a really long time. So I know that this light is a reptile heat light, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be actually good for growing, because these other lights, they're just fluorescent lights. They don't do anything for growth apparently, but they grow everything in my room. But I want to see what difference this makes, and hopefully we get really good mangrove action out of that one there. So all right, and then yeah, so this tank I'm actually probably the happiest with at the moment. All the fish are doing really, really well, and just looking fantastic. Like this guy here, old Toodles, he just looks absolutely stunning. That's the thumbnail right there. He's just looking absolutely phenomenal. All right, so that's enough of that tank. So we'll head down to the bottom tank here. Collie boy, hey, what you doing? What you doing? Hey. Oh. All right, come on, buddy. We gotta film the fish. Watch out. This way. Good boy. Good boy. Right. Watch out. Come on. Okay, so this tank here, so this is the black nasty fry. They're all looking really, really good. There's probably about 60 or 70 in here at the moment. So I'll see if we can get an up close shot. Yeah, so this is the nasty fry at the moment, looking pretty good. They're probably, they might be just shy of an inch, or some of them are probably up that inch kind of range. So a couple more months and I reckon we'll be able to get these guys down to some fish shops or something, which will be cool. Let's try and focus in. Yeah, so let's focus, come on. There we go. Yeah, so they're all going good. I've given them a big water change today as well, so they're probably going to pack on a bit more size, and I gave them a bit of a treat as well today, some bloodworms. So we'll see how they progress. Okay, let's head over to the last rack. Actually, we'll just touch on the fry quickly, and we'll head over to the last rack where there's a bit of a surprise. Okay, so we've got a couple of new tanks in here, which are just fry grower tanks. So they're just on the floor at the moment. So in here we've got the jags and a spawning pot. So once they lay the eggs, I'm going to take the jags out and put them back in the community tank and just let the fry hatch and grow out in there. See how that goes for me. And then over here I'll get this light shining on them, but we've got a massive cloud of, of marbled fenestratus babies, which are all through here. So they've just had a nice feed of brine shrimp, and yeah, it's about 200 I reckon. So let's try not to kill these ones, and all right, let's move on. Okay, so I'll quickly touch on the Feste, and then we'll move down to the bit of a surprise down the bottom. So Cosmo, he's having a bit of a sook. He's under there because I turned his light off, and Wanda, she's looking good, but just no spawning colors or anything like that. She's just, they're just doing their thing, just eating food and hanging out together. So they don't fight or anything like that, which is really good. But look, other than that, nothing really else to report on. They're just looking really good. So we'll head down to this tank down here. So this is probably the coolest thing that I've got in the fish room right now. And we've got 6 little guys in here. So I'll see if I can get some close-up footage. Oh. They're very fast. So you might already be able to identify them if you've kept these guys before. But these are called Cichlids tubas, or tuba. So I've got a small group of 6 of these guys in here. So I've spoken to a couple of people on Facebook. They say that it takes about 3 years for them to get to sexual maturity. So, and these guys look like they're about probably maybe 3 or 4 months old. So got a little bit of work to put in with these guys, but I'm so excited to have them. We've got one big guy. Oh, what's happened there? We've got one big guy in the tank, and oh, don't know what happened there. We've got one big guy in the tank, and then we've got a bunch of 5 other little small ones. So yeah, they're just little herbivores, and I'll put a little bit of a photo after this clip to show what they will look like when they get bigger and when they're in spawning dress, because they look absolutely fantastic. So yeah, they're pretty cool as well. They like seem to school around with each other and just dart around the tank and just graze all day, eating algae and the food that I put in there for them. So they constantly eat. They were eating within about 5 minutes of me putting the fish in the tank. So they're not fragile by any means. They're quite robust, which is really good. So yeah, really happy to have these guys here, and we'll keep you updated as they get bigger. All right, let's move into the last tanks inside and we'll finish it up. Okay guys, so these are the adults of the Cichlids tuba. These are just some photos that I just grabbed off Google, but you can see that first photo was a beautiful breeding pair. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of different catch locations for these guys, so there might be some variations, but that's just a general overview of them. Alrighty guys, so we'll finish up this one in front of the Masking Heroes Argentius tank. So those of you who've watched the videos before, this is kind of the mascot of the channel. This is Cronus, the male Masking Heroes Argentius. He's about 35 centimeters, so just over, he's probably just on 30 centimeters actually. So he's about a foot in length, not fully grown yet. He's just starting to develop that nuchal hump, which is a good sign, because once that really comes along, that's usually about the time that they start spawning. So just behind, that's his female Rhea. So she's going pretty well. I've got this underpass that goes through the tank, which is this terracotta pipe all the way through this log there that she spends most of her time in, and that's where she gets away from Cronus, because he'll chase her away just like that, and then they'll flirt around a little bit, do a bit of the dance, but then she can hide away in there where he can't get into, because he's too big. So these guys are doing really well. I did a deep clean on their tank today, so that's why it's a little bit cloudy. So the other fish that we've got going in here, we've got the white convicts. So this is the male white convict. So he's claimed this pot, and one of the black females he's actually started spawning with. Oh yeah, she's in there with Fry. I didn't realize they had Fry. Yeah. You can see there's little white dots that are kind of moving around. Yeah. Oh, cool. So we got a bunch of babies from them. So I'm not sure if that's how they do the marbled convicts, but anyway, we'll just let them do their thing. And the other thing that's changed on this tank is we've actually we got rid of the sump filter that we had on there, but today we've actually when we did the deep clean, we actually went and got one of these Aqua One, I think it's the Nautilus, hang on, yeah, it's whatever it is, the Aqua One Nautilus canister filter. So I just found that the sponge filters, they were doing a good job in here, but with all of the convicts and the bristlenose in there as well, it was just getting an accumulation of the fish waste in all different nooks and crannies, and I just wanted to have a little bit of a more polished tank, because this is the display tank in the living room. So I got the canister filter on there. It's cleaned the water up pretty well so far, but it's only been going for a couple of hours. So yeah, everything's looking really well. These little female white convicts, they're absolutely gorgeous with all that orange on them as well. Absolutely beautiful. But other than that, guys, nothing much has changed on this tank. I think there's still going to be some time before we see any spawning action from the Argentius, but it's yeah, it's just a waiting game. So yeah, the other tank, I'm not going to do an update on them. I've just got some peppermint bristlenose in there. Unfortunately, we lost the midnight black rams, so that was a bit of a shame. So we just got some peppermint bristlenose growing out in there. I think one of my mates wants to buy them, so we'll get those ready for him next time he comes around. So alright guys, that's it from me today. I hope you like this video. Hope you enjoy seeing the new fish that we got, those tubers. I'm really excited about those being in the fish room as well. So if you have any comments or questions or anything like that, put it in the comment section below. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.